Hey, this is the antisocial socialite back at it again. I don't even know if um Hey, this is the antisocial socialite back at it again. Thanks so much for tuning in. As usual, I am running up the street and I am just looking at how a certain male YouTuber from he's red focus, he's not really, well, he could be MGTW, is going in on a one Miss DNieka Marie. And I don't even know why I'm interjecting myself into this, but I want to throw my 2 cents in on the situation because I know a number of the guys in the manosphere have commented on this. Shout out to Oman, shout out to O'Shea. Um, I was just watching the video about the critique of DNieka. I don't want everyone to go over there and be like, oh, I came from here, or da 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 da. This is not to stir up trouble. I'm just giving my opinion on the matter. Okay. I came across DNieka's content a while back, but I don't really watch a lot of female content creators. So as much as I saw it, I didn't really watch it. Obviously now she's become very popular as like somebody who is actually, how can I say, she's actually getting kind of brought into the periphery. The way I kind of feel is like, all these people are over listening to my conversation. That's what happens when you do live streams in public. You're all listening. I know you're listening. Okay. So the way I personally feel is this: number one, men need their own space online. We have had Oprah, we have had Sally, we had Ricky Lake. Over here we had Trisha, we had not Vanessa Williams. Yeah, was it Vanessa Feltz? I mean, radio show upon talk show upon reality TV. I mean, we have been saturated with platforms and outlets for women to voice their opinions for decades, and it hasn't done women any good. Okay, it has not done women any good. It has actually ruined a lot of women, giving them false hope, giving them false reality, giving them bad expectations. So I fully support the manosphere because men do need a space where they can actually talk and air their grievances and just be intellectually honest about what's going on in the male world. From YouTube, not YouTube, that's a lie. From Me Too, because it rhymes, you see. What else? I told you these people are watching. There's a couple behind me that are listening. And what was I saying? They're listening to me. Discreetly people across the road. I'm not paranoid. They were listening. I swear to God. From Me Too to men's rights issues, obviously things like men going their way. I don't know if that's actually going to get the video flagged because it's such a small channel. You know, these things evolved out of the men's rights activist movement. I don't even know how many years ago it was, but I do remember a long time ago, maybe at least 10 years now. I remember there was this, like, it made the news where men were starting to scale like the Houses of Parliament in London, saying that they want the law to be changed so they can see their kids. And that was just something that I'd never heard of before. Like, you mean to tell me there are women out here who like stop their children's father from seeing their children to the point where the men are dressing up as superheroes and climbing buildings to get attention? I was like, whoa. So it was a long time ago. And from those men's rights activisms, this is where movements like MGTOW were born, where men started to feel like fed up that the laws were disproportionately not in their favor. So bit by bit here and there, I saw things to do with how men were being treated unfairly. And I suppose it's kind of culminated years later in me having like a degree of sympathy for men, especially with the, you know, institutional racism and things like that. Definitely for black men, because obviously these laws and these cultural norms, they obviously affect me more as a black person. It just is what it is. And when you look at DNiekas channel, you can see she's been online for a long time. She didn't just show up yesterday, riding on the coattails of what was already established. She actually has been online doing things for a long time. And she said that she was talking to women, but as she started to call out female behavior, a lot of them turned on her. And that's what you find. Like, at one point, my viewership, because I had like 1 or 2 videos that had a decent amount of views, it was getting close to like 92%, 93% all female views. Like, you know, it started off being, I don't even know, like high 70% female and then like 20 something percent male. And it gradually just went up and up and up because I had one video that was really appealing to women, it looks like. So at one point my viewership was like 90% female to like 10 or 8% male. Obviously some of the newer videos has brought a number of male subs over, and so as a result the males have come through. But again, you get pushback from the women and they drop off, they unsubscribe, they leave, or they just stop watching the content even if they're not unsubscribed. So over time, the ratio of men to women, it changes because the men want to hear stuff that they find is advocating for their plight, whereas the women don't want to hear it. Again, this is why you have channels where the women, oh, I'm going to have to cut this short because I've got to go inside, but I'm going to come back because it's like Donovan did DNieka wrong, in my opinion. And I know that's biased because if he said this about some other female content creators who make similar content, but they don't look like DNieka, I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't have even batted an eyelid. And that sounds really bad, but that's just, it is what it is. She may not be able to speak on things from the depth of, you know, Shahrazad Ali or something like this, because at the end of the day, you know, I don't know if it's her age, if it's her life experience, or I don't even know the level, because I wouldn't say she's necessarily an immature female, but for somebody who's just starting out getting into red pill understanding, DNieka's doing a good job. And now I can understand why, like Obsidian was saying, you know, there's some things in there that need to be, she feels like could be done a bit better. But when I think about people like DNieka, I think about this passage of scripture. It's in Philippians 1:15 to 18, and it says, you know, basically some people preach the gospel out of envy. They want to try and outdo me as a preacher, okay? And some people actually preach with a sincere motive. And this is Paul speaking from prison, but he's like, listen, at this point, I'm happy that at least the truth is being preached, okay? Whether it's with the true motive or a wrong motive, the gospel is still going out. And when people like DNieka stand up and speak the truth, there are going to be people who will listen to her who will not listen to guys in the manosphere because they're so unaccustomed to dealing with guys and that roughneck, you know, very direct, maybe abrasive way that men speak. A lot of women won't be able to take hearing those kind of truths because it's a whole cultural and a mental shift when you have to deal with red pill content. And I'm going to come back and actually continue this live because I want to actually talk about the idea of women having red pill rage, because it's possible that if you are truly accepting of how things have gone down and why it went the way it went, that even as a woman, you can be angry at the way you've been felt. So I'm just going to do something quickly. As you can hear, my keys and ID is clickety clacketing, which means I'm running, but I will be back.